What if the most powerful weight loss tool isn't a diet plan or exercise program, but something you already possess? If you can control this one thing, you'll have no problem losing weight. It's not your diet, it's not your movement, it's more basic than that. I'm talking about your attention. Simply paying more attention to what you eat could change everything about your health, but most of us completely ignore it. Most of us eat kind of mindlessly. We see food as something that should taste good and make hunger go away. But what if we started seeing it as something more? As the fuel that powers our body, our brain, and our life? You might be shocked how little time we actually spend tasting our food. Most of us have food in our mouth for only about 17 minutes each day. Think about that, 17 out of 1,440 minutes. And what we decide to put in our bodies during those 17 minutes will dramatically impact how the other 1,423 minutes of our day unfold. Let me ask you this, have you ever eaten something and then felt sluggish afterwards? Or maybe you've had a meal and then you couldn't think clearly for the next few hours? Or maybe you're like me and unless somebody points it out, you just don't make the connection between what you eat and how you feel. But there is a connection. That brain fog isn't a coincidence. That's your body desperately trying to tell you something. The problem is, most of us run our bodies kind of like dictatorships. Top down, what we say goes, and we just sort of force our body to go along for the ride. But what if you started paying attention? Treating your body as a gift that's trying to communicate with you. It'll make a huge difference. Instead of mindlessly eating an entire bag of chips or that whole row of cookies, fast forward a few minutes or hours and think about how you'll feel down the road. How will this food directly impact your energy levels, mental clarity, or overall well-being? Think beyond just the few minutes that it's going to taste good in your mouth. I know a guy who is committed to paying more attention to what he's eating, and not just how it's making him feel, but literally while he's eating it, paying more attention. Sometimes this is called mindful eating. It's a kind of meditation on the act of eating itself. Now, I think it's hugely beneficial. First of all, it can help us slow down and appreciate that we even have food. We aren't starving. How good is that? Our body is getting what it needs. Secondly, at least for me, it helps me appreciate how I got my food, either the animal that gave its life or the people who worked to get it to me. Third, I can meditate on the taste and the texture, the pleasure of eating. It doesn't have to be just another meal that I hardly notice while I scroll away on my phone. So, this guy I know, he committed to spending the first 2 minutes of every meal in complete silence. It was kind of awkward the first time I encountered it. He doesn't speak. He just sits, closes his eyes, and meditates on what he's eating. He pays attention to the flavors and the textures and thinks about how the food will nourish his body. He considers where it came from, the journey it took to get to his plate, and expresses gratitude for having access to it. Now, at first, I thought it was a little strange. You sit down for lunch with somebody and he doesn't talk, he just closes his eyes and starts chewing. But then I tried it, and it completely changed my relationship with food. When you slow down and really pay attention, you start making completely different choices. And there's a science behind this too. Studies have shown that mindful eating, paying attention to the experience of eating and drinking, it can help reduce binge eating, that emotional eating, and even help with your weight management. That's because when we're paying more attention, we're much more likely to notice, say when we're full. We'll make better choices about what and how we eat. And it doesn't even take that much attention. You don't have to be disciplined for 24 hours each day. You only have food in your mouth for 17 of those. So that means you could be disciplined maybe for 10 or 12 minutes more each day than you are right now, and you'd still see your health improve dramatically. So remember, EAT stands for energy, attention, and timing. We talked about eating for energy in the last video, and today we're focusing on attention. And in the next video, we'll talk about timing and how the order in which you eat your food really matters. For today, your assignment is really simple. Pay attention to the food-mood connection. So for the next 7 days, I want you to pay more attention to not only what you're eating, but how it's making you feel afterwards. It's simple. Keep track of what you ate, and then check in about an hour later and jot down how you feel. Do you have high energy, or are you sluggish? Are you happy, or are you down? Just start to pay more attention to this connection. And then try spending the first, 30 seconds of your next meal in silence, just like my friend does. Pay attention to what you're eating. Express gratitude for it. and think about how it's going to fuel your body. It's not just there to stave off hunger, it's there to give your body what it needs to thrive. So remember, those 17 minutes you spend with food in your mouth each day determine how you'll feel during the other 1,423 minutes. So make them count.